Tony.
Hey, I'm Rob Walker. I'm so much better than my brother. No,
That's an incredible impression.
Hi, I'm Linkara. Some of you were probably in here just a minute ago for your Top Fourth Wall Live. I do a Top Fourth Wall, History of Power Rangers, Long Box of the Damned, and various other minutiae. Anyway, I'm really awesome.
Broken. Oh, sorry.
Hi, I'm Omar, and I'm one of the newer producers on Channel Awesome. I have a show called Yomars where I do video game reviews. Yeah.
And with us, we also have our security, in case any of you get out of line. What's your name there?
General anesthetic.
He's good. And there was like 50 people in here before you came in, and you get rid of all. So keep your questions in mind. He's that good. So this is very much just a straightforward Q&A, and we're just gonna go, whenever anyone has like a question or something like that, just go ahead and raise your hand, and we'll pick on them, and we're just gonna start. So let's do it. Man, people in the back are already starting. So the guy with the star shirt.
So a while ago you made a top 20 favorite characters list. I'm wondering if it's changed with all the shows you've seen in the movies over the time.
Any of the top 20 favorite characters list have changed. I'd probably I'd probably knock off Ed, even though it is still one of my favorite characters, but I think Zuko is better, so I probably put him on there. And even that's a toss-up between Zuko and Mako, what's his name? I'm forgetting his name. Pyro. Yeah, those two. Yeah, I love it. Actually, favorite characters for you guys? Just favorite character all time. What would you say?
Pass.
Incredible character, pass. Every time I saw him, he was amazing. How about you?
Wait,
Favorite character all time? Anything. Anything.
Everyone don't care.
Nostalgia Critic.
I'm taking my answer to Emo Jones.
Oh my god, the fact that some of you laughed at that shows you remember it, and I'm sorry. How about you, Joe?
Gunnery Sergeant Harpin from Full Metal Jacket.
It's a big thing to think of a single, best character ever, man.
Do it anyway. Say Linkara.
Squirrel Girl. Alright, let's go this side. Use her.
Has there ever been a movie that was so bad you could not review?
A movie so bad I couldn't review it? No, but I had one that was close, not because it was bad, but because it was boring, and that was Junior, the Schwarzenegger pregnant. Would just write itself. I mean, that's just the easiest thing to make funny, and it is so dull, so not interesting, except for that one scene where he has the creepy little baby that gives you nightmares forever, and it's just one of those things where it's like, it's like we gotta do it for that baby scene, but like I think we threw in like a dream sequence, something like that, and because we just had nothing.
Like Margot was a judge?
Yeah, Margot was a judge. We tried to make it like The Wall, and we were just like, because we didn't know what to do. It was just be experimental, and it didn't work, but we had that one good joke in the movie, so we have that at least. Pick next one.
Let's go Power Rangers.
Were there any videos that you guys wanted to do but ultimately scrapped?
Video I wanted to do but scrapped. I was thinking about doing, for a while I was thinking about doing the movie Matilda, because I don't like that movie, even though I know everybody else loves it. If you love it, if you love it, great. And now we know Mara Wilson, I was like, this might actually be kind of fun. But I was watching the movie again, and it's just, I wasn't getting material out of it. I was just like, I don't like it, I can say why I don't like it, but I can't make it funny. So maybe someday will come where I feel I can make it funny, but right now I can't.
Not very often. Most of the time, if there's something I want to do, I just go ahead and do it, or at least I plan to do it like, somewhere down the line, because eventually I'll figure out some way of doing it.
I wanted to do a video on that game, 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, but after I beat it, I realized that I didn't really know enough about hip-hop to make a good video on it, so I may come back to that later.
Let's see, let's do person holding the sword there, the link sword.
This goes for each of you. I asked this at a panel for someone else earlier, but I'm going to ask it for you guys. What do you guys think is the best and worst video that you've done?
best and worst video.
Don't cheat and use like early stuff. Do it like once you knew what you were doing and it was still.
Melvin? Melvin?
Actually, they're both pretty easy for me. Worst is Bart's Nightmare. Even though I know there's people that like it, great, thank you, I don't like it. That's something I was going to do kind of like from day one when Let's Plays were just coming around, but then like the footage didn't record, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'll get another time. Like a year goes by, I'm like, okay, I'll do it now. And like the audio didn't record, okay, I'll do it another time. And so it was like 5 years later, or 4 years later, and I was just like, okay, let me try it now, and I didn't keep up with how Let's Plays have progressed, and I recorded this, I'm like, yeah, I've recorded stuff I hadn't liked before, people liked it, maybe this will be one, and it wasn't, people hated it. And I was just like, yeah, no, got enough, I didn't think it was very good either. And then my favorite one's Mad Max. That review. I love that one. I think it looks great. It's the ideas are interesting. I think it's a totally different way to do a review, and people really got into it because of that. And I just love those movies. I love that celebration of those movies while also kind of making fun of them too.
I kind of thought that the Bart's Nightmare was kind of like The Room. It was bad, but so bad it was enjoyable.
Good. That's the best compliment I've ever gotten about that.
The best video is probably my 300th episode, Holy Terror. Just for how much heart I put into it. I think the jokes are funny, the material is awful and racist and terrible, and I love ripping that thing apart. I love setting that thing on fire. And the ending fight is both enjoyable and just like a fun celebration of everything that's happened over the course of my show. The worst video I've ever done, probably linking up with Linkara.
I love that video.
I know, it's like, if we're going in terms of like my worst, probably, in terms of...
Oh, I'm so amazing, there's no one I actually dislike.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I don't, because if I don't like something, the thing is, if I don't like something, I'm not going to release it. At best, I try to make at least every episode of Top of the Fourth Wall entertaining, even if it's not my funniest.
Awesome. How about you, Matt?
My best video, well, the one I liked the most is probably a video I did on Shadow the Hedgehog. That was fun. It was an in-depth video. I have a little cameo by this guy in it. And my worst one, I probably released this morning.
I released that video with you and me. Oh God.
I released a video of. Have you guys all seen the Ghostbusters trailer? I released a 2-hour edit of Leslie Jones slapping Melissa McCarthy.
That's comedy.
Are you sure that's not your best? I wouldn't watch that for the full 2 hours.
So go to youtube.com/Mr. Yomar. So check that out.
Yep. Awesome. Why don't you pick the next one?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You with the sword.
I guess if I can, 2 questions.
Sure, go for it.
Okay. First one is for Doug. Would you ever get back to like doing maybe like a Wachowski marathon, for the movies that you really wouldn't notice that they were Wachowskis, like Speed Racer, V for Vendetta?
Well, I've done Speed Racer. Actually, where is Ben?
You didn't.
He's here. Yeah, is he in the room? No? Okay, yeah, I didn't see him either. So, okay, well, hopefully he'll show up at some point. He's here at the con. If you see him, say hi. He's awesome. I actually did do a crossover with him. And with the Wachowskis, I kind of feel like I've done the interesting ones. Actually, I very much, and not a negative review, I would love to talk about V for Vendetta. I think that'd be a fun review. And I actually do like that movie. But I think there's stuff to talk about with it. So I'll probably do that one. And then what's the second question?
My second question was for Linkara. Would you ever cover New 52?
Turn down your phone.
Well, the thing is, I've done some New 52 reviews. Now, if you mean a review of it overall, it sucks. There you go. The problem is doing any kind of huge retrospective like that for like I did for all the Blue Beetle comics. That takes so much time and effort. And really, when it comes to stuff like the New 52, that lasted for like 5 frickin' years. There's so much stuff to cover with that. There were books that were good and there were books that were awful. The general tone of everything is bad. And I've done a few individual comics like Red Hood and the Outlaws, The Culling. God, The Culling was awful.
They ruined
Death of the Family. Well, the thing is, Death of the Family, the biggest problem with that is it continues this irritating idea of the Joker as this uber powerful 3 steps ahead of everybody, being in like 5 places at once kind of idea of the Joker, which is so annoying. He's just some asshole in white makeup.
He's an agent of anarchy.
Well, funny funny you should mention that, Doug. He tried to convince Batman, actually, that he was literally a spirit of, like, an evil, ancient, demonic thing that actually they tried to push as the real origin of him for a while.
And his blood's
Why so serious?
Okay, shut up. Everybody shut up. This is too stupid. Okay. Cool. Omar, what do you think?
That person with the bag back there.
Yeah, okay. So, what is your favorite movie to just rip and tear apart?
The favorite movie to rip into and tear apart. This is. I'm trying. Okay, no. You didn't go audience. What is your favorite? Man, well, you know, honestly, even though Garbage Pail Kids is the worst movie I've ever seen, answer somebody else's question, I'm sure. My favorite one to rip apart, because I think it's just the worst remake I've ever witnessed, was The Haunting. Because that original is so masterfully done, and even if you don't think it's scary, it's just a brilliant movie. It's a brilliant character study, and so phenomenal. And like the remake was just like, we want to be a cartoon. And this CG will really hold up, guys. CG is so scary. It's just like these camera goes going around to scare everybody, and it's like no idea what was scary, what was interesting, what was just so, for lack of a better word, haunting about that film. So,
oh gosh, I thought it was really good there, Doug. I love the scene where I got my head chopped off.
Oh, no, my glass, no.
You should review it.
Under the scene, I'll open my eye. No. So that's. Oh, you're asking a question. Okay, I just did not know what that was. So cool. Everyone else, what's your favorite to like rip apart?
Favorite to just make fun of.
Episode 2!
What was that?
Episode 2 of Star Wars, which I don't think it is. This is a thing.
There's a lot of things I haven't done that I could probably do.
It's entertaining.
I don't know, it depends, because sometimes, it really depends on my mood, because sometimes I'm in the mood for something like really ultra cheesy, sometimes I'm in the mood for something 80s to rip apart, sometimes I just enjoy ripping apart movies I like, so I can't really pin down to one single thing.
Well, I watch a lot of bad movies. I don't know.
Spirit Within.
Probably Miami Connection. That's my favorite movie to just make fun of.
Friends for eternity, loyalty, honesty, we stick together through thick or thin.
Who's one pick the next one?
Alright, let's go in the back again. Holding up the black thing back there. I'm not having my glasses on, so yes, you. You're looking behind yourself right now. Yeah, you.
What's my opinion of Super Sentai? I don't even like Power Rangers. I'm not gonna like that shit. I know, if you like it, great. The day Power Rangers came out, and Rob and I think we were like, in like 7th or 8th grade or something like that. We just saw this. We looked at each other. We're just like, dead on arrival. No way this is gonna be a hit. And it's still going. They got Bryan Cranston now. So it's like we were way off on that. Just not our thing. We just totally didn't get into it. Let's see. Oh, we gotta do Daphne there.
Thank you. So, obviously, I'm an enormous Don Bluth fan. And I love all of your Bluth reviews, especially your Dragon Slayer review, obviously. And
Bluth, yeah.
And your Shut Up and Talk with him, or Sit Down and Talk, I forget the exact name. Is it Shut Up and Talk?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, I was just curious about what that whole process collaborating with him was like, especially with your history making fun of the lesser Bluth films. Like, if you ever mentioned them, or how that whole experience was for you.
I mean, in the Shut Up and Talk, we do talk about, he's very frank about it, which I think is, I mean, the dude is just the nicest, sweetest person. I remember there was a line originally when I'm like, what are you doing in the review? And the original line was, I'm quietly judging you. And he says, I don't want to say that because I don't judge anybody. I was like, oh. What an adorable liar. No, I wouldn't believe it with that guy because he's such a sweet guy, but he's also kind of reserved too, so it takes a little bit to open him up, but when he does open up, I mean, he's such a kind, generous person. And it just kind of started from when the Dragon Slayer, the first one for Kickstarter started, and we just put a link on our Facebook, and as people were like, hey, I got a lot of people looking at us. We know you've done stuff talking about them, both good and bad. Would you be down for helping this, Kickstarter out? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, but this one's not doing so well, and we're having trouble getting content with Kickstarter, so we're gonna do Indiegogo. So can we do like a tie-in? And I'm like, Don Bluth is one of my heroes, man. So so just getting him to say these lines and do that pose, that pose, So yeah, he was just, and he after we were done, he sent me a drawing of probably my favorite thing he's done, the small one. He sent me a pencil drawing of that. I was just like, I'm not crying, you're crying. Super sweet guy. I mean, he's just as nice. He wrote me a really nice email too. I mean, just like the sweetest motherfucking individual. And just big fan of his work. So yeah, it just sort of came about like that. It was really, really cool. Let's see. General, why don't you pick the next one?
Oh, in the back, I saw somebody with a Vulcan hand signal.
Favorite movie quote of all time?
Favorite movie quote of all time? Oh, man. That's...
I was frozen!
You know what?
You have a heart of
I'm
gold.
sure there's others. I'm sure thethere's others, but the one that's coming to my head was from a movie I didn't even finish. I didn't get to finish it all, but it was from. Okay, hold on. They didn't say audience. What's your favorite? Yeah, no, we got security, man. I say probably the one that's popping in my head right now that I really remember being really powerful is from The Iron Lady, which I didn't even get a chance to finish it, but there's a line in the opening, somebody's at, this is like the end of her career, and somebody's asking like, you know, what was, you know, how did you do all those things, all the things she did? I mean, she's a very controversial figure, but she had this amazing answer. She said, well, it used to be about doing something and not being somebody. And I think, especially in our world where we do like, you know, our cell phones, and then me too, I mean, I swipe, I do social media, I do all that stuff. But I mean, that's something I think is really important to keep an eye on, that there are greater things than ourselves, and you can actually accomplish more if you take yourself out of the equation and just keep it focused on what's the best thing. So that really stuck with me, and actually one day I do want to finish that movie because that line was so powerful. So and that's what's sticking out to me. What about you?
I've done far worse than kill you. I hurt you, and I wish to go on hurting you. I shall leave you as you left me, as you left her, marooned for all eternity in the center of a dead planet, buried alive, buried alive.
Rob was doing that once at the video game during audition, and he actually booted up the music and went,
I was just about to do that now.
yeah, get it! I couldn't get it.
I hate sand.
I like everything's like, it's so rough and coarse and it gets everywhere. I'm like, right on the beach.
I'm sure we all agree. The problem with me that just like it's supposed to be like a touching moment inside. It was like, I don't like sand.
My hatred for sand overlooks how lame that scene is. So. How about you, Jenna?
Well, the one that's coming to my mind right now is from Dr. Strangelove, where he just goes, the greenhouses could contain plant life, animals could be bred, and it's just an extra emphasis on slaughtering them.
Cool. Let's see, let's do the white jacket.
What's the most difficult part about writing a musical episode?
What's the most difficult part about writing a musical episode? Writing the music. I mean, honestly, you know, it's they do take more time, and you gotta get more angles and so on and so forth. Except for Lewis, who did it in one take. I know that was one take, right? But yeah, they are more challenging. That's why we don't do a ton of them. There's at least one more I'd like to do, but I know it's going to take a lot of time. But right now, I kind of like this musical trilogy that we got. I like that people are calling it that.
In my case, it was coming with parody lyrics because I don't know. Have you seen my 400th episode?
Not yet. I know
it's a musical.
I was going to say, has anyone else I heard that like it's going to take it off and stuff?
The thing is, it hasn't been taken off anywhere. The problem is that I got hit by a content ID strike. Not a strike. There's a very distinct acclaim on the first part because I did a parody of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and I used the same orchestration. So that's where I got it from that part. Surprisingly, I was expecting part 2 to do that because I also did a parody of It's Getting Better All the Time, which has much closer lyrics. So I was like, really? This is the one you hit me for? All right.
Fair use.
Yeah. The problem being with it being that just because I decided to do direct parodies of the songs, it's coming up with lyrics that match up with things. The final one, Atop the Fourth Wall Will Never End, took me forever to frickin' figure out because how the hell do I fit something into Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band? How many frickin' lyrics, syllables is that? Yeah.
So I got, you know, like, I remember you talking about it on your social media. I'm like, I gotta check this out, and I just haven't had a chance to. I hear it's amazing.
How dare you?
Like this. Cool. Let's see. Let's do a few more up front. We've been doing the back a lot. Let's do yellow hat there. Yeah.
So, regarding like the whole content ID issue and the whole where's
Oh, I'm sorry. This yellow hat. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're talking guy in the middle. You're fine.
Oh. Yeah, you were talking about me, right?
Yes.
Okay. So about the whole content ID and words of fair use, there's actually another gentleman on YouTube named John Pollock. He kind of has like a differing opinion of you know what you and you know everybody that was kind of like with the what's the fair use, because he actually he puts up a lot of videos just like you do, and he actually does a thing called Movie Night, and it's phenomenal, and he's actually gotten dinged a few times. And he actually had like this whole like half-hour video.
I'm gonna do the clip note version, man. There's a lot of questions.
Like, have you ever heard of him? And then, what's the progress on on your end as far as words of fair use goes?
With in terms of I'm terrible with names. If I saw the videos, maybe I would recognize it. You say a name to me, it immediately disappears. But in terms of the progress, I mean they're. First of all, I'm amazed that it took off as much as it did. I think that's phenomenal, and I think it's great that people are finally coming forward like, no, like this is a thing, and it's really messing everything up, and it's not within the legal realms. But I mean, changes are already happening. That's what's so exciting about it. YouTube is already changing their policy a little bit, whether better for worse. I mean, we'll see. But the fact that they're changing it all is good. Like we were talking about in the video where we said there should be a side pod for when somebody claims something and says, we should get your monetization, and they just give it to them until you prove them wrong, and then they keep that money. Now there is a side pod, so if somebody says, we want your money, and you say, no, this is ours, they put a side pod, wait for the claim to be figured out. If they never respond, it goes back to you. So that's really good. It's still going to take a while to see, if it, stays in practice, if there's any glitches or any other little loopholes. But, I mean, that's a big step. And we're also being invited to these copyright roundtables, which people like us have never been invited to before. They mostly just have people like in the music business or the movie business that come around, they just talk about, we gotta stop this damn internet, they bad, piracy, evil, bad, and they would only go off of that. Now, we're saying, hey, others are getting caught in this net. And I'm not a fan of piracy. I'm like, I really do not stand by that. And I know it's a monster to battle. But like, other people, like this new form of entertainment is coming and growing. And people that just do stuff that has no clips or no anything are still getting claimed. Yeah. And, that's a problem. So now they're letting people like us come in and talk about it. We did one in California, we did one in New York. And the next video is going to be talking about how those went. We're waiting for the transcripts to come out because they said they're going to give transcripts of like everything that was said. And when we talk about it, we like to say here is what they said exactly. So it's not like we're paraphrasing. But I mean, it's going to be a long haul, but we're in it for the long haul. So it's definitely going to be a long process, but we think it's worth it.
So basically, they're putting more value on the content creators' voices.
They are, yeah. How long will that last? How strong will it go? I mean, that's what we're trying to keep going. But yeah, that's why I still think it's really important. So yeah, good question. Let's see, Lewis, why don't you pick next one?
All right. Let's go. The sword run right there.
We picked so many swords.
Sword run, yeah.
People are just give me a sword. I have the power.
Keep it simple. Has a movie studio, producer, director, etc., ever tried to bribe you not to review a movie?
Wait, trying to bribe me not to review a movie?
In favor of what your review would do to it.
Usually they bribe me to review a movie. Rip it apart, we don't care, it'll get us attention.
Must be a huge film.
I'm trying to think. There's one I can't talk about yet, and it did have to tie in with the strike and everything. Again, we'll kind of see where things go with kind of where's the fair use and how much you want to say and don't want to say, but there was one that pulled a pretty douchey move. But the closest we got was probably just was so with the room. And even then, when we finally just put it back on, I mean, he was just like, oh, okay, bye. Never showed up again. We even did an interview with him last year, and it's just as surreal as you think it is. So, yeah, surprisingly not that many. I've actually gotten much more, even like the director of A Crazy Night came out, and it was like, I really liked your review, even though he ripped it to shreds. But he felt it was a very fair shredding, if that makes sense, because of crazy animation and stuff.
Animation was good, the rest
So cool. Omar, why don't you?
Let's go Mr. Kazoo back there.
Oh, okay, so ever since you, Doug, came back with Nostalgia Critic, you started doing reviews and editorials. Which I love the editorials so much, more than the actual reviews. Sorry. One editorial that I was really hoping you make is one about making movies based off of video games, because I feel like it's a guy as smart as you, I just love to hear how you think video game movie could be good or bad.
Yeah, that might be something. Yeah, because they are video game adaptations to film are just usually so bad, and it's so. I guess it shouldn't be questioning, but it kind of is, because video games have so much become like movies. Why aren't, I don't want to say movies becoming like video games, but it's like, it seemed like the translation would be a lot easier. Or even something like Mario Bros. That's such a strange, broad idea. It's like, clearly we can get something kind of fun and goofy. It's like we never really, well, I mean, we got the goofy part, but not the fun part. But yeah, it's, I think that might be an interesting one. Yeah, maybe I'll talk about that. Assassin's Creed might be good.
I gotta say, the intro to the SMB movie kind of made me laugh.
We gotta take another question, sorry. General, why don't you pick one?
Let's see, you.
Sure.
First off, you've reviewed a few Adam Sandler movies, and one you've made fun of more than once is The Water Boy, and I'm just wondering, like, what you hate so much about it. I mean, I get it's bad. Compared to Jack and Jill and That's My Boy and stuff like that, it's hardly that bad.
No, well, why do I pick up the movie Waterboy? Because that was at the point where it's like an Adam Sandler movie could still feasibly be good, and like you couldn't go by the critics back then because it's like they just hated every Adam Sandler movie. Oh, they still do. Hotel Transylvania's great. What's wrong with you? Yeah, Waterboy was one. It's like it might be good. Let's see it. And like you tricked us, movie. So we were really pissed off.
I like Waterboy.
There's a lot of people that do. I don't get it, but maybe that's why, because so many people said they really liked it, made a lot of money, and I'm just like, I don't get it. But if you like it, that's great. No, there probably are worse. I haven't seen Jack and Jill yet, or something.
Oh my God, you're gonna do Adam Sandler month now for January.
I had some thoughts on that, actually. See, there's one guy who you've repeatedly made fun of, and yet you've never reviewed a movie that he was the main character of.
Which one?
Rob Schneider.
Oh. I got several Rob Schneider movies just now where he spent the star.
Yeah, well, I think it's about time you did. I feel like you should review it. I mean, you made fun of the guy
Maybe Deuce Bigelow. That's a pretty popular one.
I was thinking maybe Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo.
Let's start with the first one. The better of the duo. So yeah, no, actually it may not be a bad idea. Let's see. Let's do the dude holding up the too many games paper there.
Hi, I'm not sure if you've ever addressed this, but is there a reason that you've been doing less and less fun review videos?
Oh, why am I not doing as many fun reviews? Just work. They surprisingly get the way. You know, coming to conventions and stuff. I mean, it's like just coming out here and then getting home. You know, on Sunday, it's like it's hard, and then doing a review as soon as I get back. It's hard to see Independence Day 2, even though I don't want to see that one.
In other words, it's all your fault.
Yes. I blame you! Yeah, because you won't change! They're really fun and actually easy to do. They just take time. That's it.
How is this to a bum when he's gainfully employed to the Critic we've seen on several occasions?
There's one episode I want to do where we actually, because it's like, I want to show that like the Critic only pays him like in change, like a quarter each review, and even like the building he's in, it's not really a building, it's just a white wall outside. But I haven't got around to doing that yet, but I really want to because I like that idea. Let's see. Omar, why don't you pick that?
Purple over there.
There's a lot of purple over there. With the beard.
So,
in your early videos, you did a lot of Let's Plays, and I know you did a like a one-off of a game called Bucktown Library.
Oh my god, the title!
I'm wondering, when is part 2 coming?
The climax.
I legally can't discuss this.
Good answer. Lewis, my pick.
Alright, let's go back over to this side. Green shirt right there. Yep. Is it green? I don't have my glasses on.
It's black.
Okay, it's black. I just saw the green outline there.
This question's actually for the Nostalgia Critic.
How dare you?
Crap, I think I forgot it.
Make up another one.
What was your favorite like recent movie you had to reenact to not get copyrighted?
Oh, like do a clipless review
Yeah.
on? Yeah, Batman Superman. And, you know, I love doing ones with Joe because when he does his videos, they're mostly, you know, I don't want to say vlog style, but it's mostly him talking directly to camera with other people, and then he'll sort of reenact stuff, and it's really his opinion. But he is a legitimately hilarious comedic actor, and every time I work with him, it's always like, God, I forget how good he is at this, and he just like he'll take a line, either say it exactly how, you know, I want him to say it, or he'll say it even better than what I had in mind. So he is just so hilarious. He's always so much fun to work with. And even when we're done, I mean, we did like whatever, like a 12, 13-hour day or something like that, and we're wrapping it. He's just like, hey, sure it's not more? I can do more. You want me to do more? I mean, he's an energy machine. So he's, any chance working with him is always fun.
It is amazing how much energy Joe has. During the Atop the Fourth Wall movie, he was not able to be there for the full 10 days of shooting. He was in Poland covering the release of The Witcher 3. And he had, and so I was like, well, we got to get him out here for half of it at the very least, because, you know, we're filming the damn movie here. So I give him 1 day in Texas to rest and relax after the international trip to Poland, then fly him out to Minnesota. You know, barely any time to rest on this. Joe walks in, oh man, I'm ready to go, let's do this, man!
He's amazing. He really is so cool. So, cool. See, I'll pick somebody here. Let's do Yellow Bay.
Alright, in a recent video you talked about new things coming to Channel Awesome. Can you talk about that?
New things coming out. We're trying to get the Awesome Comic Show going. I think it's doing pretty well. Now they're trying to break out into sketches as well. The Snydering especially, I think it's very fun.
Wow, doing a comic book show on Channel Awesome, wouldn't that be amazing? A good one.
Don't try to cross me, I got security, man. And there's a couple, we want, for some of our shows that we want to get going, we kind of want to get like the newer equipment. We're finally getting to a point where we can again, because with, as you know, with having a month of no income, you know, it can kind of take a bite out of you. But yeah, we're finally getting to a point where we can sort of get the new equipment for like the newer shows we want to do. So yeah, so the big thing right now is, yeah, having the Awesome Comics going. And which is really so much fun. They find these different locations, different subjects to talk about. I like that round table idea. And I think Walter's been a great addition so far. And just an amazing Zack Snyder. So yeah, that's the main thing we're focusing on now. But yeah, before we get started on the next shows, we kind of want to get to make them what we want to do with them. We kind of need like newer cameras and stuff like that. But we're finally getting to a point where we can get those. So we don't want to give it away, but there's some cool stuff coming.
Maybe a new season of Pop Quiz Hot Shot, or...
You, General? Anything.
Thank you.
Let's see. Let's do the posters over there. The person holding up the 3 posters. Yeah.
Okay. When are you ever going to do Looney Tunes Back in Action?
I actually want to do a review of all the Looney Tunes movies, actually, like just kind of as an editorial, because I like talking about the ones where they use the cartoons in them as well, and they try to tie them together. I want to talk about Quackbusters. I actually wouldn't mind talking about Space Jam again, strangely enough. You know, just like, because it is one of those movies, even though I really don't like it, I do strangely appreciate it for like just what a time capsule of 90s it is. And I think there's some kind of fun about that. Yeah, I want to talk about Back in Action in that, because that's a fascinating, almost good disappointment. Like, it's like, oh, you were so close, like, you're definitely closer than Space Jam, but it's like, oh, like, this didn't quite work, but you were just like, missed it by that much, you know, kind of thing. So, I'll do the Looney Tunes movies at some point. I definitely really want to. Let's see, let's do Kiki.
Thanks. One of my most favorite videos of yours is when you did that interview with the producers of Animaniacs.
Yeah.
That'd be one of my favorites because Animaniacs is one of my favorite cartoons.
As well as you.
I don't know, what was it like in like pre, during, and then post? What was it like conversing with them? Like were they polite and like respectful?
They're all a-holes.
They
were, it just kind of, a fan came along and said, you know, hey, I know Tom Ruger, if you'd ever be interested in doing something with Animaniacs. I'm like, okay, so I talked to him, he's a super sweet guy, and then he's like, hey, you know, I can get like, you know, Jerry Stoner and John Bean McCann and, you know, other writers and stuff. I'm like, well, if that's available, sure. And so they all came on, they did it, and that's still one of the coolest moments of Nostalgia Critic, because those people are like my heroes. Like, a lot of them did stuff I didn't even know they were doing. Like, you know, Sherry Stoner is like, you know, she's Ariel and Belle. Like, she was the models for them. It's just like, who the hell knew? And then, like, she's not only a writer and producer, but she's the voice of Slappy Squirrel. And it's like, you just never know that, like, these people are doing, like, 20 of these things that you just love and never knew it was them. So, yeah, and I'm still friends with them, and I still got their contacts and stuff like that. They're the coolest people, and it's just, that's still a dream come true. Because, yeah, kind of like you, I'm sure Animaniacs helped shape, like, a lot of your sense of humor.
Yeah, pretty much. I kind of carried, like, a little keychain of a big mallet and pretended to pick.
Nice. Awesome. Thanks so much. Let's see. Omar.
Okay, so many people holding things. Let's go.
Oh God.
The big old fish in the back.
When you go to all these different conventions and stuff, and I imagine you see some pretty weird things. What is one of the weirdest things you've ever seen at
A big fish.
A lot of fish.
I'm trying to think, what's, oh man, you guys go, I gotta think about that. Like, the weirdest thing I've seen at a convention. Come on!
Oh, I'm sorry. I actually don't really see weird things at conventions.
To you, it's all normal.
Yeah.
Weirdest cosplay.
Greatest cosplay? That Japanese pretty good.
Well, not the weirdest one either. The best cosplay I've ever seen was a Megazord cosplay, which actually had like a viewable bridge function in the chess piece with like action figures inside of it.
I'm always kind of a sucker whenever I see like a Krang cosplay where they have Krang in the stomach and stuff like that. I think that's pretty cool. But, oh man, yeah, that's really, really tough. Like, just weirdest one, best one. Whenever there's like a giant, you know, you go to one of these ones like C2E2 or New York Comic Con or something like that, and you see like just a literal Transformer walking around life size with like 5 people in it with the sound effect. That blows me away. That's just amazing when you see that stuff. That's probably like the strangest and best, you know, that I see. What about you guys?
So the weirdest thing I've seen at the convention?
Either or, weird or best.
Can you go first?
Sure. The best thing I ever see at a convention is when somebody dresses up as Nostalgia Critic.
Oh, we had a full house
How was that show Full House?
a Fuller House is amazing.
I just like that show as a kid.
I did see what I thought was a pretty cool Krillin cosplay, but then it turned out to just be a dude, like a bald dude. Yeah, like an
let's see, let's do the Wario hand back there. Yeah. You have to be louder, I'm sorry.
What is by far the best joke you've done in your reviews? Like, what's your favorite?
Favorite joke that I've done since coming back, or just a
Marla
joke?
Wilson. Like all the jokes you made, like during your reviews, like scaring a little girl example. Like
Gotcha. Favorite one is, I go back and forth. It's really a toss-up between, the Mara Wilson one is still amazing. I still can't believe that happened. I think that is so cool. And then the, actually, no, now it's kind of a 3-way toss-up because it's that, the Pinky and the Brain one I think was hilarious. I think that's, and then I really love when me, Carl, Brent, and Team 4-Star read 50 Shades of Grey. And it kept it done in one take. We all knew our voices, we just kept going, and then like, when we were done, when the voices were done, we just kind of kept improvising and going and going, and just everybody had a line and everybody kept saying something, doing something, we just all worked off each other, and it's just shown in that one take, and I thought that was just the funniest thing, like just the funniest 2 minutes of just go be funny, and I thought it just turned out so good. So yeah, no, I really like those.
Oh, wait, I also got those.
Okay, what was that?
Surprise!
Send me a video of that.
I think I would read that.
Better find that on YouTube the second I get home.
Already on it.
Thank you.
Number 1, Doug.
Right here.
Batman needs to pay for his love somehow.
Goodness.
He's a good.
Robin helps him out with that. They wear nipples.
My question for you that I've been dying to ask all this time.
You.
Yeah. I don't know where you are with the Boom comics, with the Power Ranger comics that have been coming out lately.
Yeah, I've only read, unfortunately, one of them. The thing is, though, I just don't have a lot of time to read a lot of the side stuff, but I have been collecting them. Boom has actually been sending them to me because I'm a part of that Power Force thing. So I have like all of them, and I have read one of them. It's good stuff. I love how they modernized a lot of the concepts, and they've expanded upon ideas like, hey, this guy used to be Tommy used to be an enemy of ours. Why are we so quick to trust him? You know, that kind of a thing. So I've only read the one, but it was really good. I want to read more. I like how Bulk and Skull are not exactly bullies in that, but they're kind of just more like annoying high schoolers who are like, we're going to document everything around here, get everyone's opinions about the Power Rangers.
And I was wondering, Linkara, one last question. Do you have any plans to rip into what is surely going to be a shitty reboot of the Power Rangers movie?
I don't know. It could be good. It could be bad. The thing is, people have been asking my opinions on that, but I have no thoughts. Oh, the outfits are armor looking and kind of neon. Okay. I don't care. It's not the TV show. I'll probably end up watching it. I'll probably end up reviewing it. I like the teaser posters and the fact that they seem to be putting forth a genuine effort into the idea that this is a reboot in it. I'm not quite as fond of the idea of this constant Mighty Morphin nostalgia trip with it, because like the many teams have come before it. They did this with the Boom comics too. Many teams came after them, but they were the original. Okay, the thing is, I like the original as much as anyone else, but it wasn't that good. There's been such improvements on the show just over the last 20 years, and downgrades too, but still improvements. So I like the fact that Boom Studios actually is improving on that. I don't know if the movie will or not. I like that they're putting forth a genuine effort to make it better. So here's hoping. People ask me my opinions about what's-her-face being Elizabeth Banks being Rita Repulsa. The thing is, I'm not familiar with her works. I'm just remembering that's the woman who had JD's baby on Scrubs. I have no other opinions about her. I haven't seen The Hunger Games.
5 minutes. Why don't you take the next one?
All right. So yeah, here's hoping it'll be good. Let's go for. Let's go back to this side a bit. You, sir.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. This is for Doug. Do you ever think about doing any more Nicolas Cage, like a Nicolas Cage part 2 or an Arnold Schwarzenegger part 2?
Another Nicolas Cage, I'll make a Nicolas Cage year.
Dude, my friends and I get together every other week for a movie, for our own movie night where we just watch, good movies, bad movies, whatever. We had Nicolas Cage night for a year. Oh my God, the sheer breadth of Nicolas Cage, from the enjoyable to the awesome to the what were you even doing here, man?
Like that.
Pretty much, yeah. Like a lot of.
I had an island. Emphasis on the had.
He apparently used all his own vehicles during some movies like Drive Angry and like Ghost Rider.
That gives you an idea why he's doing so many movies. So cool. Let's see here. Let's do. I'm just gonna call you Other Daphne. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm married for Double Dragon.
Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, yeah, nice.
You go to a lot of conventions, and Daphne and I actually run an anti-harassment organization, and we were wondering what your thoughts are on harassment at conventions and in the cosplay community, and have you witnessed anything, or what are your thoughts on this issue?
I'm pro-harassment. Pro that.
So, is there have you seen anything or anybody do something really cool to prevent it, or just any?
I sadly do not. I try to walk around conventions and stuff, but I know that this stuff doesn't happen on the surface. It's more like when people sort of go away and hang out in groups or just hanging out. You're just not it doesn't happen in front of celebrities as much, at least that I know. So I trust it's going on. I think it's weird and bad. I don't get it. I know this cosplay is not consent it has to be a legitimate thing because I just see it everywhere. So yeah, and I think it's there are some people that, a lot of people that come out to these are really cool and nice and they get the cool outfits and stuff, but I also know there's a lot that don't always leave the house that much, and when they see, beautiful whatever, it's gonna be not used to this right next to me, must do something stupid, and that's not good, that's not fair, if anything, I think it should increase going out, socializing with more people, and getting, this etiquette, this human etiquette, just human decency. So I don't know if it's always hey, person that does that equals evil. I think it could possibly, some definitely are, but I think it could be more just equal some sort of just awkward, non-social part of them that they're not familiar with, but they need desperately to get familiar with.
Unfortunately, it's not always just that. Harassment that I've witnessed before and heard about is not just the awkward people, but the people who just genuinely are toxic people. They're assholes. They think they're being funny. They think they honestly think the cosplay is not consent thing is stupid. They think that you obviously.
Of course it's consent. What's
yeah, it is honestly that kind of attitude. They are that kind of people because they think you're obviously putting yourself on display, therefore. Whatever I do is okay, that kind of thing. It's a real problem.
It ain't. If a guy walks around like a Joel Schumacher, bat nipple, that doesn't mean press my nipples. It just means, they like the Joel Schumacher movie, all two of them. I gotta give effort to the chair, so the guy holding the chair. Very creative.
First of all, with all the talks your least favorite stuff in the Joker, I am surprised Melvin, the brother of the Joker, never came up.
Yeah, so shocked I never did that.
We killed him during a live stream.
Yeah, we killed him for charity.
Good decision.
Rotten hell.
I would just like to ask, has there ever been something that you've been so excited for, people have been hyping it up for you, and then you saw it, or you read it, or you played it, and it was just garbage, the worst thing ever?
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. People actually built it up, and I thought, actually, I'm probably being way too mean to it, but I just love the story so much. I know it's not garbage, but I really was disappointed with it was the new Jungle Book. I really didn't like that. The new Jungle Book I really didn't like. And I'm very excited for this Andy Serkis one. He's coming out saying, we need to scare kids, we need to make them uncomfortable. And I'm I am so pro that. Because I grew up with Return to Oz and all these scary movies, and I adored them, and I loved it. It made me tougher, and it scared the crap out of me. It still gives me nightmares, and I enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm totally down for that. I'm sure there's a bigger one, but that's the most recent one that's coming to mind.
You didn't like Christopher Walken singing as a child?
No, he was a good choice for a while. He's legitimately intimidating. He's talking, and he's kind of like a gangster. It's wow, but he's ooh, I want to be like you. So, okay, I We have time for one more question. It's got to be the dude with the sword back there, because everybody.
Make it count.
All right. Serious question. As video content creators, how do you handle long-form media and keep people entertained?
How do we handle what? I'm sorry, a little louder.
All right. You do long-form media all the time. That's the majority of how you handle your stuff. How do you keep your audience engaged?
What?
What?
How do you keep the audience
We can't hear him if you're
engaged?
talking. Hold on. How do you keep the audience engaged?
It's long-form media because say if you're doing a video, it's in it for like 5 minutes or 15 minutes. You have to do it for close to
Okay, how do we keep people entertained for such a long period of time? Honestly, I think you just have to ask yourself, would I watch this? And you have to be brutally honest with yourself. You can't put on like the I'm great goggles. You have to really be like, would I really stay and watch this? Would this guy be entertaining enough? Is he going all the way? Is he holding back? What's he doing? And you have to look at it like it's not yourself. And anything that's filler or boring or not interesting, just cut it.
It's very similar to just a general story beats in anything you do. Eventually there comes a point where it's like, well, there hasn't been like an action beat in a while. There hasn't, and then in our case for our reviews, well, there hasn't been anything funny. It's been mostly expository, but let me see what I can do with put in a joke, keep people's interest and not just be dryly repeating what's going on and things.
The point where I know or at least to me, a video is good is when I'm just reading the script or editing it and I'm laughing at my own jokes. And then I know at least I find it funny.
Yeah, even just being instinctual with it. All right, real
Very
quick.
quick.
Like a minute.
What about if it's more serious? What if it's more of an actual dialogue sort of thing? Sort of like how Ahoy does it with Kids Game, almost like a documentary.
Okay, if you're doing more serious, bring up something no one else is bringing up and have it, have it be legit. Have it really hold water so that it's not like, oh, this person's saying it for shock value, get attention. It's like, this actually really holds up, and this is making me think of something in a way I never thought of.
The advice I always give on this to any content creator, even if you're not funny, be entertaining. Command our attention. We are watching you. You are the center of everything. Be passionate. Show us why we should care about what you care about.
And with that said, we gotta go, guys. So thank you so much.